Hey, how's it going, everyone? WTFSexyHeadphones here. Let's talk Metro Awakening. So when I first heard that there's going to be word of a new Metro trailer, my main thoughts were like, how and why? So if you guys have played the original Metro games before, from 2033 to Exodus, or you've read the books, they all follow RTM, and of course you'll know that the storyline very nicely wraps up from start to finish with him, so it very much leaves the question of, with another Metro story, where the hell will this go? Because if it goes anywhere with RTM, it does not make sense, and it feels like it is going to fuck things up. So let me read to you guys what Awakening is supposed to be about. The year is 2028. The survivors of nuclear Armageddon cling to existence in the buried subways of the Moscow Metro, civilization's last refuge and tomb, which, as we've known the Metro to be, where ghosts and spirits haunt the living in this man-made purgatory. You are Sadar, a doctor braving the darkness, crippling radiation, and deadly threats of the Metro in search for your wife and medication she so desperately needs. As your courage and sanity are pushed to the limit, you must learn to walk the line between life and death, the spirit and material world, and awaken the being you will become. Okay, so perfect. So it doesn't follow RTM, which makes a lot of more sense. One of the questions that I do have while reading this, what sparks my mind, is I wonder if the medication that he's looking for is going to be the same medication that RTM was looking for Anna to save her life. I wonder if that will be a tie-in, if they will be looking for the same type of medication, and if that'll be a tie-in. But let's actually just go into the white elephant of the room, the big kicker with Metro Awakening, which is the fact that the game is VR only. A lot of people's petticoats are in a fucking bunch over the fact that it is VR only, and I don't blame you guys. It seems like a weird move for Metro to be VR only. So, like, first, to an extent, yes, it does make sense for Metro to go a VR route. Metro is very much about atmosphere, very much about immersion. It is very trying in the story to make you feel that depression, make you feel that oppression, that darkness, that drama, that sadness. It is, and they do so well at it. So virtual reality does make sense for a game like Metro to try and bring that immersion level up and bring you even further into that world, so I do get it. It does make sense for Metro to have a VR option. It just sucks that it's the only option. So there's a lot of issues with VR. Feel free to let me know what your guys' are in the comments. I know some of you have been telling me already. Particularly one of the kickers with VR, so I'm going to go with my own personal experience, is I am very prone to tension headaches if I have anything on my face. I get tension headaches very easily, which I have a very hard time getting rid of. Traditional medicines tend to not get rid of them, and it just sucks. So I don't like to do VR for too long because it causes me adverse effects. And other people have that same issue too. Some people get motion sickness and whatnot, so that will keep them from wanting to play that, because you can't enjoy experience if it's going to cause you some physical, visceral reaction. That sucks. So it blows that there is only a virtual reality option, and it seems strange to do so. Again, the virtual reality makes sense in a way to boost the immersion of a game like Metro, and I really do like the idea of trying Metro in VR. I love the idea of feeling like I could be more in a game like this. I do want to try it. But much like everyone else, I'm not enthused about it being the only way to play, because I can't see myself playing it for a very long time, or getting super into it. Let me know if that's something of an issue for you guys, or what your issues are. Take my issues with a grain of salt, because again, I don't do VR too much just because of the fact that, again, if you have a physical, visceral reaction to something, it's kind of hard to really do much more. The other thing that I noticed that was kind of driving me nuts, and again, take everything I say with a grain of salt because I don't do much VR, but like, is it a problem to do a wrist? So if you're trying to be immersive, and I'm supposed to be the person, I'm supposed to be the player, it so throws me off watching that trailer and seeing floating hands. Does that not break the immersion to you guys? Does that not throw you off even more to see like these floating floppy ass hands in the air? Like, again, I don't know. I don't play it much. So take whatever I say carefully, I guess. But like, could you not do a wrist? Like, you know, you guys let me know. Could you not do a wrist or something? Like, the floating hands really throws me off. That was one of the things that when I was watching that trailer, it's like, again, immersion, yes, I do get. I don't understand the floating hands and why, if we're trying to make it look like we are in control of this person, like, could we not do a wrist? Is there a problem with doing a bit more arm to where, like, if you reach out, it still looks like you're attached to a person and not you're part of, like, wizardly world? You know what I mean? That drove me nuts. Maybe it's nitpicky, but it's like, again, when immersion, I assume, is going to be the main factor, and again, I get that because it makes sense with Metro. Can someone explain to me the floating hands? Was there a reason we couldn't do a wrist? The floating hands is like, that looks so effing weird. And then that immediately, for me, breaks the immersion because I'm like, that just looks dumb. Anyway. And then, of course, the last thing is the fact that, like, gameplay experience-wise, it is nice to just play a game in a classic way, which you will not be able to do. So, let me know what you guys think. This is just a real quick rundown on the new Metro trailer. Again, I don't think VR is a terrible idea for a game like Metro. I really don't. I do think it makes sense to have VR for a game like Metro. But I agree with everyone else that it does really suck that that's the only option. It is going to kick out a lot of audience. For one, it's going to kick out people who don't have a VR and need to buy an expensive VR just to be able to play the game, even though they are becoming more relevant and things like that. But obviously, it's just no different than buying a game system. So not only are people going to have to buy something possibly new to play it, but again, if you're like me and you have visceral reactions to things like that, it really sucks. So let me know what your guys' overall thoughts are. Are you guys going to still play Metro and give it a try? I think at the end of the day, I will still give it a try because I do love Metro. And I think it will be cool to have Metro in my face. I also think it will be terrifying. I'm also horrified of the idea of a mutant popping out on me. I'm going to be terrified, but I know that's going to be part of what's going to make it exciting, is having a mutant just jump out in my face. That's going to really suck, but it will be cool. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I do want to try it, but man, I don't know about that. What do you guys think? Bye!
Feel my power!